29 July, a letter that found its way home. July 29 arrived with a quiet morning, but inside one. Small house, silence felt heavier than thunder. The calendar changed, yet nothing else seemed different. Every room carried memories that no one spoke about. Every corner held words that had never been said. Some families break because love disappears. Others break because pain becomes louder than love. This was one of those stories. A young daughter stood near the kitchen window watching her mother prepare breakfast without saying a single word. The sound of the spoon against the cup echoed through the room. It reminded her that silence can become language when hearts are too tired to speak. She took a slow breath and whispered, "Mom, may I ask you something?" Her mother smiled gently, but there was sadness hidden behind that smile. Of course, the little girl lowered her eyes. If someone makes a mistake, can they ever become a better person? Her mother stopped moving for a moment. She looked outside instead of answering. After a long pause, she quietly replied, "Sometimes they can, but trust is much harder to rebuild than promises." The child nodded. "I understand." She did not ask another question, but deep inside, she carried one hope she had never stopped believing in. Later that afternoon, she visited her father. He was living in a small apartment that held only the things he truly needed. There were no expensive decorations, no crowded shelves, only a chair near the window, a bookshelf, and a table with an old notebook resting on it. He smiled the moment he saw his daughter. "There you are," he said warmly. "You always make this place brighter." She hugged him tightly. "Dad, are you happy?" He looked surprised. Have reasons to be thankful every day, but are you happy? He looked out the window before answering. "I am grateful for life, but gratitude and happiness are not always the same. She noticed his face looked more tired than before. Time had left gentle lines around his eyes. Regret had quietly become part of his expression. On the table lay a carefully folded letter. She asked, "Who is that for?" He smiled softly. "No one. But you wrote it." "Yes." "Will you send it?" He slowly shook his head. Some letters are written only to help the heart become lighter. She looked at him with innocent curiosity. "Is it for Mom?" For several seconds he remained silent. Finally he answered, "It says thank you for every beautiful memory we once shared. It says I am sorry for the moments I allowed pride to speak instead of kindness. It says I hope she has found peace, even if that peace no longer includes me." The little girl felt tears filling her eyes. "You still care about her?" He smiled with quiet honesty. When people truly love someone, they do not wake up one morning and simply erase them. Sometimes love changes its shape. Sometimes it becomes prayer instead of conversation. Those words stayed with her all the way home. That evening, she watched her mother sitting alone on the porch as the sun slowly disappeared beyond the horizon. She walked over and sat beside her. "Mom?" "Yes." "What is the strongest person like her?" Mother answered immediately. The strongest person is the one who keeps going after life hurts them. The little girl gently held her mother's hand. "I think the strongest person is the one who can forgive without forgetting the lesson." Her mother looked at her daughter with quiet surprise. Children sometimes see truths that adults spend years trying to understand. The wind carried cool air through the evening. The daughter spoke again. "Dad didn't ask me to bring you back." Her mother stayed silent. "He didn't ask me to convince you." Still no answer. "He only asked me to take care of you." A single word, a single word, but it felt like a long, long, long time. She looked at him with a single tear rolled down her mother's cheek. He said, kindness should never end. Just because a relationship changed for the first time in years, her mother closed her eyes and allowed herself to remember not only the painful days but also the beautiful ones. She remembered two young people who once dreamed together. She remembered laughter that filled empty rooms. She remembered promises whispered beneath quiet skies. She also remembered mistakes, disappointment, and words that should never have been spoken. Life had not been simple. Neither of them had been perfect. The daughter quietly said, maybe healing doesn't begin when someone says, I was right. Maybe healing begins when someone says, I don't want us to carry this pain forever. Her mother squeezed her hand. Where did you learn to speak like that? The little girl smiled. From watching two people who taught me what love looks like, even after they forgot it themselves. That night, neither of them slept easily. Sometimes hearts begin healing long before lips are ready to admit it. Sometimes forgiveness starts as a tiny seed hidden beneath years of disappointment. And sometimes one honest conversation becomes the first step toward a future that once seemed impossible, because families are not held together by perfection. They are held together by patience, humility, compassion, and the courage to choose peace when anger feels easier. If today is 29 July, perhaps let it become the day you make one kind phone call, write one honest message, or forgive one person, not because the past never happened, but because your future deserves more peace than your past ever offered. She woke before sunrise, unable to explain why her heart felt so restless. The house was quiet, yet her thoughts refused to be. She walked toward the old cabinet where forgotten memories had rested for years. Slowly, she opened the drawer and found a small wooden box covered with a thin layer of dust. Inside were simple things that meant nothing to strangers, but everything to her: a faded birthday card, a dried flower pressed between two pages, and a photograph taken many years ago. In the picture, two young people were smiling without fear, believing that love alone would always be enough. She gently brushed the dust away with her fingertips. I almost forgot this day, she whispered. For the first time in many years, she allowed herself to remember not only what had gone wrong, but also what had once gone right. Love had not begun with arguments. It had begun with kindness. It had begun with respect. It had begun with two people promising to build a peaceful home together. Somewhere along life's difficult road, responsibilities became heavier, conversations became shorter, and silence slowly replaced understanding. That morning, her daughter quietly entered the room. "Ma'am," she quickly closed the box. "You've been awake for a long time." I couldn't sleep. Her daughter sat beside her. "You don't have to tell me anything. I only want you to know something." "What is it?" "No matter what happened between you and Dad, you both gave me the greatest gift a child could receive." Her mother looked confused. "What gift?" "You both taught me that love should never become hate. Even after everything, neither of you filled my heart with bitterness. You allowed me to love both of my parents." Those words settled gently into her mother's heart. She realized that children often carry the weight of decisions they never made. She quietly asked, "Does your father ever talk about the past?" Her daughter smiled softly. "He talks more about hope than regret." "What does he hope for?" "He hopes you are healthy. He hopes you smile. He hopes your life is peaceful." Her mother lowered her head. "And nothing else?" He says, "Real love is not measured by possession. It is measured by sincere prayers for another person's happiness. Silence returned, but this time it no longer felt empty. It felt thoughtful. Outside, the sunlight slowly failed. The streets with warmth. Her mother stood near the window and whispered to herself, perhaps healing does not always begin with answers. Sometimes it begins with listening. Across the town, her father was planting a small tree outside his home. A neighbor smiled and asked, "Why plant a tree now?" He replied, "Because someone may enjoy its shade long after I'm gone." The neighbor nodded with respect. Kindness had quietly become the way he measured his days. That afternoon, his daughter arrived. Once again, she watched him carefully, watering the young tree. "Dad, do you believe people can truly change?" He smiled. "People cannot rewrite yesterday, but they can choose who they become today." She looked at the small tree. "It will take years before it grows." "Yes," he answered, "but every strong tree begins with a single day of care." The little girl understood the lesson. Families heal the same way, not through one miracle, not through one conversation, but through many small choices filled with patience, honesty, respect, and mercy. As the evening of 29 July quietly approached, none of them knew what tomorrow would bring, but something had already changed. The walls built by pride had begun to crack. The doors closed by pain were no longer locked, and in three different hearts, the same silent prayer was rising toward heaven. "Lord, if there is still a path toward peace, guide our steps with wisdom, remove anger from our hearts, replace it with compassion, and help us become people who leave behind forgiveness instead of regret." Sometimes the greatest victory in life is not proving who was right. It is protecting the people we love before time quietly takes away the chance to say the words that matter most. If this story touched your heart, let today be the day you choose kindness, over anger, forgiveness over pride, and hope over regret. Life is too short to leave love buried beneath silence. Thank you for watching until the very end. If you enjoyed this heartfelt story, please like, comment, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to the channel for more original stories filled with love, peace, wisdom, and hope